Cage Minds, Micah Frankel, ahead of Knucklemania 3, joined by Kevin Croom. Man, it's been a while. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Doing well, excited. Biggest bare knuckle show of the year coming to Albuquerque, New Mexico means you're coming back to town. What was your thoughts on getting a fight back here in Albuquerque?
Oh man, I was stoked as soon as I heard that they were doing one. I think I heard about that fight coming up the night I fought. So in November, I told the people like, get me on that card. I want to be on that card for sure. And yeah, man, just looking at the card, dude, this is a stacked card. So I mean, I'm incredibly stoked and honored to be on it. Much less I get to come back to Albuquerque. Haven't been there in a long time, so it's good to catch up with some people and throw some knucks.
And for as long as you lived here, as long as I watched you train, we did interviews. You never fought here.
Never, man. I was supposed to fight there on Bellator, and then a couple things fell through. But yeah, man, I'm very excited to finally fight there.
And the opponent's going to be a guy that I already talked to him, and he said, "Yeah, we were in the same gym together for a while. We were cordial to each other." He said he doesn't even remember if you guys like spar together or anything. He was like, "Yeah, we were always in there, though."
Yeah, I guess that's kind of news to me. I don't like I vaguely remembered the name, but I don't really have any recollection of him. So yeah,
Uh, as far as Chevy said, he kind of called you out a little bit on Instagram. Did you even see that?
nope.
So to you, this fight, it was just a name offered to you, and you have obviously accepted.
Yeah, I actually accepted another fight, and then I said yes to another fight. Had my manager get the contract, signed the contract, and then he was like, "Oh, hey, it's a different name on the contract." So yeah, I mean, whatever, man. It's all you know me. You know what I do. I fight all comers. So yeah, man, it'll be fun.
You come to Bare Knuckle off of a long time in MMA. You've reached the pinnacle, getting a fight in the UFC. How do you look back on that experience?
I mean, my debut was great. The rest of them weren't quite as good, but yeah, man. I mean, it's awesome. It's what I always wanted. Like I had that goal ever since I was like I don't know, 15 years old. So, I can mark that goal off my list and maybe kind of move on with my life a little bit. Um, Man, it was great. I feel like I'm like 1% of 1% of people who had just a goal that seemed unfathomable, and I worked years and years and years and finally got it, and I mean, I did it well. Obviously, things could have gone better, but man, I showed up. I put out on a day's notice. I got a 50 grand bonus. Like, fuck, man, I'm pretty happy.
Did you like? Was it a whirlwind for you? Because I think did you ever get a full camp? Wasn't every fight like a short notice endeavor there with the UFC?
Yeah, the two full camps I got, I fought the worst. Yeah, man. Yeah, it is what it is. It was my life for a little while, so I mean, my life's always kind of a whirlwind, I guess. So I mean, it seemed to fit in pretty well. You know what I mean?
After the release, we saw you got back in the win column, another win there on the regional scene, and then went to bare knuckle. Was that always kind of a plan? Had you been eyeing bare knuckle?
Yeah, man. I had been offered to fight for him before I got signed by the UFC, and obviously, like I wanted to be in the UFC, so I turned him down. And yeah, man, I feel like it's a new sport. A lot of people don't really have it figured out how to do it yet. I think it's a good way for me to make decent money without fighting a little bit less than world class athletes. It's a new sport, and you can take a lot of advantages in situations like this. Nobody quite knows how to do it yet, and I believe that I can really mix my grappling, my clinch work, and everything, and I can really take over. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
So if you kind of assess the playing field, look at the other guys, what they're doing in the sport, and said, okay, this is how I could throw my own little flavor into this, have my own seasoning in the kitchen.
Yeah, man. I mean, I suppose so. I haven't, to be honest, man. I haven't watched a ton. I mean, I watched the fights that when I was there, and I mean, I've seen a few fights, but yeah, man, my whole life for the last, what, 16, 17 years has been nothing but fighting. So when I'm not in the gym, I kind of like to just relax and not think about fighting. I mean, I have my coaches kind of worry about the difficult things, but yeah, from everything that I've seen, yeah, man, I feel like I can really put my mark on this sport.
Well, then, from the perspective of taking it to the team, when you said, I want to do bare knuckle, did they say, okay, we're going to have to adjust some things? We're going to have to look at this from a different perspective? Or was it just, okay, all right, yeah, Kevin, we'll lay
Yeah,
out a game plan for you?
yeah, that's how it is. And really, it's not much of a game plan. The thing with like MMA, there's a lot of really good athletes in MMA, and maybe I don't think there's so many fighters. This is the type of thing that, like, I don't think you can out athlete me in this. Like, it's a fighter sport, and so I think I really shine through, and I kind of think everything I do already really fits really well into it. So yeah, man, that's my plan, is just go out there, be me, and take the game over.
Everyone that's transitioned from MMA to bare knuckle has at least shared the same sentiment. It's 2 minute rounds. I can sprint for 2 minutes easily.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And man, there's only two things I have to worry about. Like, it's so freeing to like just stand there in front of somebody and not worry about them taking you down or knees or anything like that. Oh, buddy, it's might be the easiest job I've ever had.
Now, as you're getting prepared for Chevy, has the camp got a little more in depth, a little more into looking at what he does?
No, man, I feel like I've watched a couple of his things, and I feel like the more I worry, the more I think, the more effort and time I put on somebody else, the worse I do. I worry about myself. I make sure I'm in good shape, and I go out there and I fight, and I feel like I do the best that way. Obviously, I have like my corners, looking at them and stuff, but I mean, I've watched him fight. It's going to be a scrap, man. This is what it all is. It's bare knuckle. You're going out there and you're banging. And man, I've been doing this since I was a little kid, so I think I'll be all right.
I keep trying to drag you into this technical conversation. One more question on that side. Has there been much adjusting for you to feel in your stance? You don't have to worry about kicks, and you're not kicking as much. So has there been some adjustments to the weight distribution?
Man, no, I don't really think so. Like, I honestly think like I found my calling this late in my career. Like, I think this is kind of, it feeds into everything I've already done. The biggest adjustment, I suppose, would be getting used to the boxing shoes. Other than that, not really. I think I'm doing everything I've normally done.
Okay, well, how have you not adjusted but embraced mustache life?
Well, I I had a full beard. I had a full beard, and like I shaved it all off, and I left the mustache as a joke. And then I took a nap, and I woke up and forgot about it, and looked in the mirror and just started cracking up. And so yeah, man, this is my new thing, I guess, for the moment. And shit, dude, I fucking love it. I gotta be careful I don't get food in it. Other than that, gotta be a little bit cleaner of a eater. But other than that, man, it's going right into my whole trashy lifestyle.
I feel like the personality that Kevin has just opened up a little bit more in the last year or something. We've seen some of the great social media videos and stuff, and it's not like you've ever been in a shell, but have you just like found the inspiration to let this out on social media? How have you become more creative now with these videos?
I got no clue, man. Like you said, man, I've always kind of been a rambunctious character, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm showing it more. I feel like I've always kind of been wild, but I don't know. I'm putting the camera on me more. you know? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just fuck around and like to do things that make me smile.
Obviously, we know fighting makes you smile. Returning back here to Albuquerque, we know that elevation is a factor. So I wonder, coming out here early, finishing up the camp out here, any of those plans?
Yeah, I'll be out there a couple weeks before. Planning on getting some good training in with John Dotson. So I know him and Nick got a gym. So yeah, man, I'm really excited to come out and man, I haven't been there in like 6 years, so it'll be cool to see some friends and just get the vibes.
United Fit, beautiful facility. Great to see what they're doing. Uh, were you surprised to see how Bare Knuckle caught on here, or did you expect that with having spent time in Albuquerque?
Oh yeah, no man. I mean that's the this perfect culture for that for Albuquerque. Uh, People are wild and man, they like to throw down, and it's perfect for it. And I think it's awesome that they're having the biggest, best card, that they've had at least in Albuquerque. I think it's great.
9,000 to 10,000 people expected. You had fights in the apex. You were on the biggest stage possible, and you ended up fighting in front of the fewest people you had ever done it. How does that feel to going to now being like, man, but be inside of this arena in front of 9, 10,000 people?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was cool in my last one in Omaha. It was really cool to get the crowd behind me and pumping. So, yeah, it'd been a while. It'd been a while since I fought in front of a crowd. So, it's cool that the energy they give is just great, man. And I'm just gonna go out there and be me, and the crowd's gonna love it.
And I know you, the showmanship, the different entrances we've seen. You've added a theatrical factor before. Suspect for you, fighting in front of the crowd, there's just a different emotion. That energy that they're feeding to you, it's just better for you than those quaint environments.
Yeah, for sure. Like, everything I do is because I think it's cool and I like it. So that's why I do it. And it's really awesome to have a crowd full of people like it as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I love it. And yeah, I think this will probably be a bigger crowd than my last one too. So yeah, man, I'm just ready to go.
He's Kevin Croom. At one point, he was the hard hitting hillbilly. At what point did that nickname transition into Crash? Because I feel like they still kind of represent the same guy, the same
Yeah,
energy.
yeah, man. I mean, really, and really, I'm trying to get rid of that and just go by Kevin Croom now. But what it I don't know. I just felt like when I lived in Albuquerque, I really liked it. The hard hitting hillbilly kind of reminded me of home. And then I'm back here and yeah, man, I listen to some old like Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings, stuff like that. But like I'm not really super country. And so I'm around people who are like real rednecks and real hillbillies. It kind of seemed like I was lying a little bit, but I mean, whatever, man. It's my roots. I mean, my family's from Alabama, Georgia. So like, we got some southern, redneckery afoot. So yeah, man. I don't know. I'm just being me. Whatever you guys want to call me is what you can call me. But I'm Kevin Croom.
What's Kevin Croom's expectations for what the fight looks like February 17th?
Yeah, man. I believe it's going to be a scrap for the first round. I mean, bare knuckle. Most of them are. I think this kid has a lot more volume than the last kid I fought, but I really feel like I can take advantage of him in the clinch and on the outside. I got a little bit longer reach than him, so I plan on keeping my jab long and strong, staying on the outside, and then when I get in, I'm just getting a hold of him and really making him pay. I think it'll probably be a second or third round finish. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, man, I plan on going in there and breaking them.
Thank you for the time, sir.
Let's go, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Sorry about being late, but here we are. Let's go.
Always a pleasure.
Heck yeah, bud. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.